from reshooting this. I brought some food out for I snuck out the blue crocs in case Laddy comes along. He doesn't typically attack those. He spent his youth making love to them, so. These are a bunch of the ferals. I thought I was being sneaky, but then here came Laddy. I'm not sure if that's Miss Nomad over there eating with him or not. I was out on the back porch. Crap, sorry. I wasn't looking through the camera, I was looking over it, and I saw that little bitty striped one right there on the far left. Yeah. No, it's coming up that one. It's smaller than the others, so I think it's newer. I think several of these are adults. But I think the little striped one towards the back just went in beside the other striped smaller one. So I think those are kittens. The little black one, I think those three in the back here are all the kittens. I think I remember seeing those little, but here came Laddy. He had to come over there to have a bite. And when he found the food, he made that same little kind of a clucking, throaty chortle that he would make to let the hens know that he had found something yummy. Do you think all those little kittens, are those your hens? Were you calling them over to the food? Is that what you were doing? Or were you just being a piglet? So I already made the day 13 video. Here's Laddy going, hey, these are my old girlfriends. Those crocs are my old girlfriend. Where's she been? So these are typically my summer coop crocs because they're older and they get grossed out and dirty. But so, come on, let's leave these kittens alone. Yeah, so you don't need to be supervising their snack time. So this morning I came out, of course, you know, it was just at 7 a.m. And when she heard me come out the front door, a little black and white nomad kitty who looks like Chaos, which I don't think that's her. That could be, but she doesn't usually hang out with them. She came from around this back side of the house. I'd done all my chicken stuff, and then I came back out the front because I was filling the bird feeders over here. And she came running. So that white dish right there, I put about half of a coffee mug of dry food and a little can of Fancy Feast. And she came right over, and I just kind of squatted down and just watched her eat. And then I would stand up. She was very aware of my movements and where I was. So I would just slowly, I didn't want to sneak up on her, but I would slowly get closer and closer. So I was about 2.5 feet away. And I could tell she was, by her muscles and the way she was moving, that she was about ready to bolt. So I didn't get any closer. I just squatted there, didn't say anything, just stayed quiet. Said a few softer, soothing words in her name over and over. So hopefully it's something she would get used to. But it's in the low 40s today. It's very windy, which I'm sure you can hear, and I apologize. I would take it out in editing if I edited. But see. So those are a bunch of ferals, and they all get born over there, and they live under the house. And then come spring, they disperse. I'm sure they leave to go have their own babies or whatever. If I could catch them, I would. So I'm trying to, I've never fed the ferals over there. I just don't want them all coming over here and glomming on my cat food, which they do when I'm not looking, I'm sure, at night. But you see that little one's gotten a little more familiar. And when I took the food, I was able to get with it about 10 feet before they ran off. So it might take the winter of me feeding them. And cats tend to more likely get pregnant in the spring. It's like in the winter they know when they're bought. You know, I don't hear a lot of cat fighting or mating or whatever, but sorry, I'm being too wordy. I'm going to try to get their trust enough that if they see me come put food out and it's in, we have a live trap, that they'll go ahead and go right in there because so once I get closer and I think they're getting more familiar with me, then I'll start putting the trap out and feeding them in it, but not trapping them, setting it so it doesn't go off until they get comfortable enough that a whole group of them, will pile in, and I can at least trap several of them, and we'll take them out and get them neutered. Which, you know, is a big expense on my part, but there used to be Milton, there used to be called the Milton cat nippers, or I think it was just a lady who did it herself, and she would go down to a couple of these old parts of the neighborhood, these older, the old blocks. There's only like 3 or 4 blocks in this town that have been here since the get-go. But she would go around, and all the feral cats would come to her truck, and she would feed them. And then she would provide traps, and she had a lot of vouchers from the ASPCA to get them to trap them. And that seems to have dwindled. I don't see her vehicle around, and my neighbors used to be in touch with her, and she had trapped several, and then she had sent a guy who was on the scout for kittens for pet stores, which I don't agree with, but at least they would trap them and, you know, try to get them homes. I do not agree with buying cats or dogs. You know, if you just have to have something purebred, that's for you. That's for your status, and I don't agree with that. There's plenty of little toy dogs if you need a small dog because you're someone who lives in a house or an apartment and you need a companion, but it can't be a large dog. Go to the pound. You know, there's a lot of times the pound and certain rescues will have, you know, they're free. You know, they'll fix them. You know. But, you know, I don't really agree with totally giving them out free, especially if somebody's fixed them like a rescues, because people who just want a free cat, they don't care if it's fixed or not, are typically the people who want to do nefarious things with them, experiment on them, or, you know, or sell them, or I don't know. I just don't trust people who feel that, you know, if you've got $300 to spend, there's a lot better things you can do than spend it on a purebred cat. You know, donate it. Go get you a shelter kitty and donate the rest to the shelter. You know, whatever. It's not my place to judge, but I'm sorry, but when it comes to the buying and selling of animals, I'm going to be judgy about it, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to watch my videos. But very seldom am I going to talk about it, because I think talking about it on YouTube is a moot point. I'll draw attention to it when I'm dealing with this kind of stuff. But so my goal is over the winter, when they're sticking around close to home, they're not out and about wandering as much, and I can get closer to, I will continue to feed them to the point that I can lure several into a trap at one time. So that might be Nomad, that black and white one that just walked up, but I don't think so. It's got too much white on its nose. And there goes my rooster heading out. He loves cat food. I told you not to play with the neighbors. Yeah, I don't want him going over there and wandering around, because he could go through that fence and get out the other side of their yard, and God knows where he could end up. But come on, Laddy. Luckily, they'll run from him, and he is food motivated, and roosters are smart. They will stay close to home. But anywho, this has been 8 minutes of me rambling about feral cats, and I'm going to put the rest of this food. Paul, he stops we go to Tractor Supply quite a lot, so I told him, you know, he gets these really super large, like 22-ounce cans at Tractor Supply. There's a couple of the flavors, like the winter chicken dinner is what I call it. A couple of them that my cats will eat, but he'll often get like the whitefish, the whatever. My cats do not like it. You can put it in their bowl and they'll let it set until it hardens. So that is the bowl for Nomad, and I'm hoping that she's tucked around somewhere. She'll come and get it, and these guys won't. They might come over and eat it, but, you know, it's free to whoever's hungry and needs it, other than the rooster. Come on, here he comes. He's running towards me. Come on, Laddie. Come to Mama. I got a dirty can in my hand, so I can't zoom in on you, but yeah, he comes to my voice, and he comes when he's called, and he vlogs me when he's told not to. In a video that I'll post before this, which is the Vlogmas Day 13. He vlogged me a couple times, but I sometimes think it's more, his heart's not in it, if I can say that. Not in it like it used to be. So I'm gonna throw this can away, and then I'm gonna run in before my impromptu outdoor boyfriend here gets a little froggy. Bye, y'all.